Hey everyone, it is Fitz with your daily delivery. It's good to be back in the studio. I am not fully rested. We recorded the K-State Insiders, a season debut of it on Monday. It released on Monday night. Typically it's live, but all of us wanted to go to bed early. 4 of us went to Dublin, and Big B just carries the burden of being a beautiful man. You surely understand because you're probably beautiful too. And today we're going to continue to unravel some of the things that went on with Kansas State's 24-21 loss to Iowa State in Dublin, Ireland over the weekend. And we're going to talk specifically about Avery Johnson. How much was he to blame for this loss, and why is there a moth in the studio that refuses to get caught? First, I got to remind you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the thumbs up, and of course leave comments. All that helps the algorithm so much. Subscribe to the channel, please do. And we're sponsored by Coldest.com. Go check it out and use the code LifeOfFits to get 10% off. Avery Johnson's final stat line told a different story than a lot of fans want to believe. It's an easy out to blame the quarterback for a loss. And sometimes it's true. The quarterback probably carries more weight of winning and losing than any other player on the team. I would say the coaches carry a burden slightly more, but the quarterback is front and center. It goes with the job. You're going to get the cheers that are the loudest and the jeers that are the harshest. And there were some fans jeering Avery Johnson after the game. He was 21 of 30 throwing the football for 273 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also ran for a touchdown. It was his best run of the day. So I'm not sure how Avery Johnson is to blame based on those stats. But we also know that a game is more than stats. His stats were better than Rocco Beck's stats, as I've pointed out. And I would say Rocco Beck overall played the better game because he made plays. And it's not that Avery didn't make plays. He had 2 touchdown passes that went deep down the field and were impressive. Impressive routes by the receivers and impressive throws by the quarterback. But you come back, and it's impossible to escape that 4th and 1 in the fourth quarter when Kansas State went for it, thinking if they give up the ball, they may not get it back, which eventually happened because Iowa State's offense had found itself. The coaches choose to run Avery Johnson on the edge, and it wasn't executed particularly well. But at the end of the day, the problem was Avery didn't put a shoulder down and try to run through anyone. I am confident Avery Johnson's been coached to protect himself. He's the only really experienced quarterback on this roster. That's pretty true across college football now, is if you've got experience and you're good, you hit the transfer portal. All of his backups are somewhat unproven, and none of them have emerged over the others. Protecting Avery Johnson's health is very important. We saw what losing Avery Johnson at 100% caused last year. The offense really stagnated when his running threat was taken away. But defenses are going to learn that he does not want to go between the tackles, or the coaches don't want him to go between the tackles. So my question becomes this. If they want to protect Avery Johnson from injury, why do you put him in the position on a 4th and 1 to run the ball in a critical position? See, quarterbacks got to know sometimes that it's best to get down and not get the first down. It's best to throw the ball away instead of risking interception. And they also have to know when to go for it. And that would be my only criticism of Avery in this game. He didn't go for it. He didn't put it all out there. Dive, power through, whatever was there. He turned his back and tried to back into things a little bit, and well, it didn't work. Avery's a great quarterback, but one thing he isn't is a fiery leader. I would think that maybe him learning to do that, as some players who aren't natural leaders have to learn to lead. For your quarterback to be so level-headed, which he is in all aspects of life quite often, your offense tends to take on that persona. Iowa State is nasty and fights, and that's Rocco Becht. And Kansas State is cool, calm, and collective, and maybe a bit too casual. Avery Johnson is going to have a big season. I'm 100% sure of that. But the coaches have to help him more than that. If you don't want him in on 4th down or running the ball to get injured on 4th down, don't put him in that position. How about redshirt freshman Blake Barnett coming in to run the Wildcat. Now, why him? Well, he is known as a bulldog. He is known as a powerful runner. Why not put him in the position to run the ball and split Avery wide? You can build things off of that, can't you? Because as soon as they think Blake Barnett's going to run the ball because he's been successful, you would hope, Avery Johnson could be a receiver or take that long lateral and turn into the passer. There's so many things you can layer in by finding someone else. And I just use Blake as an example. Maybe there is someone more ideal. Put your players in a position to succeed. Don't give a guy mixed messages. You have to get the first down. It's 4th and 1. Oh, but don't get injured. There goes the moth. I'm off to kill it. I appreciate you watching today. And if you're friends with the moth, let them know, don't behave this way.